On the subject of the program under fire in the studio tonight. A Troubled Paradise was about Sri Lanka, Ceylon as was the former British colony off the foot of India.
Tonight's film gives a rare glimpse of Sri Lanka today. The team were refused official permission to film by the Sri Lankan government. Instead, they went to the country as tourists. And this program gives an account of the current tensions on the troubled east coast of what was once a serene and beautiful island.
The Tamil separatist movement in Sri Lanka has been fighting for its own independent state, and the filmmakers went to a Tamil refugee camp on the east coast where there's been a lot of fighting between government forces and Tamil guerrillas.
Although there's a notional ceasefire between the guerrillas and the armed forces, the reality is quite different. Civilians like these, as well as the guerrillas, are targets for the Sri Lankan military.
They try to attack all these people who was in the streets and the refugees camps. We don't know actually what they are going to do, but straight away they attack the normal civilians. I think.
Yeah.
Just they go down nearby the refugees camp and they try to attack all of these people.
Now, has this ever happened before?
But several times, I can say.
In the same place?
Not really. They are different places. Because we have not only one place, refugees camps, there are some other places where the people stay.
But at the time that they attacked the refugee camp, were there any Tamil Tigers or any other movement people in the camp, or?
No, they are not in the camp, I think, because maybe they are around somewhere. Because almost we can say around somewhere.
So would you say that the camp was a good military target for the helicopter, or was just civilian target?
I think civilian target. I think they like to attack civilian.
The film provoked a huge response from Sri Lankans in this country, many in support, just as many in protest. Sinhalese people, who are the majority community in Sri Lanka, were angered by what they saw as the film's pro-Tamil bias. President of the World Federation of Sri Lankans, Douglas Wickramaratne.
One would think that a documentary would try to be objective as possible. This particular film was nothing but glorifying Tamil terrorism. It is obvious that the very rich and powerful Tamil lobby in the UK had got hold of a producer to make a propaganda film. It is an irony that a Tamil is speaking about Tamil judges not being allowed to practice in Sri Lanka when even the Chief Justice and the Attorney General, the two highest ranking officers, law officers, are Tamils. The two terrorist leaders that appeared on the program, Anton Balasingham, was only recently deported from India for his extreme views and also for his refusal to participate in a negotiated settlement. The other, the leader of the Tamil Tigers, Prabhakaran, who has admitted that he was personally responsible for the slaughter of men, women, and children at the holy city of Anuradhapura, while the men, women, and children were praying. I hope that Channel 4 will never ever allow it to be used again as a medium for Tamil terrorism.
And a college lecturer from West Yule in Surrey, Durand Apahami.
I am astounded that Channel 4 has now become the mouthpiece of Tamil terrorists in Sri Lanka. By your own admission, there are only about 1,000 terrorists in Trincomalee, and their demand? Nearly 3/4 of the eastern coastline. So Channel 4 wants Sri Lanka to give in to these gunmen. Why did the camera not interview the 75,000 Sri Lankan Sinhalese refugees in the country? I have friends in Negombo, from where I came, whose boats, nets and houses were looted by the terrorists and some of them burned to death. My own friends, Terence Fernando, did run a prosperous business fishing in Nilaveli Beach, which you showed on the television. He was lucky to escape alive, and some of his friends did not.
From Chiswick in London, D. Witanachi.
Did your reporter not wonder what the Tamils used their guns for? Or perhaps he assumed they were to kill wild animals? Did he know about the massacre in Anuradhapura? Did he know that Tamil Tigers killed over 100 innocent pilgrims to the area? Did he know that they killed their own Tamil people, so-called informers, and hung them on lampposts in the town centre? Did he know that most of the so-called innocent refugees in his program harbour these terrorists?
Questions there for the reporter who made A Troubled Paradise, Tim Cooper. And to add more questions and criticisms of his own, His Excellency, the High Commissioner for Sri Lanka, Chandra Monerawela. Well, Your Excellency, would you like to tell this reporter what you thought of his program?
At a time when the international community is trying to stamp out terrorism, we were surprised that a British journalist was taken for a ride by Tamil terrorist groups and made a film for them, distorting facts.
The point there that you made the film for them, it seemed almost unabashedly a biased film. Do you accept that?
Well, it depends how you define biased, of course. If you say it's one-sided, then, well, yes, it was one-sided. We applied to the Sri Lankan High Commission in New Delhi for visas to go and see the government and to go and see the situation in the Sinhalese parts of Sri Lanka. This was refused. We then approached them and asked either for a statement.
Well, the sovereign government has the right to issue visas, but you say you refuse. Is this revenge you are taking by showing such a film?
No, it wasn't a revenge.
Or
in fact,
hitting the government below the belt? I mean,
no,
showing one side.
In fact, what we'd done is, for our own personal security, we'd gone in and filmed this film with the Tamil separatists first. We then went to a High Commissioner and said, can we have a visa? We'd like to film the Sri Lankan government side of things.
But then you have an obligation,
you
have an obligation as a journalist that if you don't get access, you still should, as fairly as possible,